When Chidaruma left his dimension, he discovered a place like no other, a place inhabited by humans, creatures that were not his own creation. For Chidaruma is a devil, and his creations are magic users. It's why no matter what, they're going to hell. But humans? Well, who knows where they go? They're no business to devils. Despite this, Chidaruma took interest in humans and abused his devil power over them. He forced them to dance, play, and even die, on many occasions by eating them alive. But eventually, Chidaruma would get bored and decide to take his leave from the human realm, but only for a short while. Upon his second arrival, he discovered a mountain of human corpses. Turns out, his creation, the magic users, evolved to create magic doors, able to traverse different realms. Talk about being made in God's image. The prehistoric magic users were deranged and feral. They tore the humans apart, driving them close to extinction. And did Chidaruma care? Absolutely the fuck not. So he left. Several centuries would pass, and Chidaruma would make his third visit to the human realm, only to this time discover the ground corroded and turned into a gigantic black chasm of sludge. You see, the bodies were not able to decompose due to the toxins inside of the sorcerer's smoke, and the sludge became so vile that it became capable of killing anything that went near it. This also didn't bother Chidaruma. At this point, what the fuck will? And instead, it inspired him. He wrote songs, painted several portraits of it, and even named the damn place Hole, for the dark aura of death it so eloquently oozes. Time would again pass, and the Hole would flourish, if you can call it flourishing, into the great city we know today. And those troublesome woes, those terrible acts that plagued humanity, well, they would evolve into even more terrible acts. For you see, while the magic user world can at times be taken as a fun ride through terror, this world truly is terror. And the ramifications for the senseless punishment of the human race would be born in the form of Hole, an all-powerful what the fuck with only one thing on its mind. Kill all sorcerers. You're fucked. Impervious to magic, fueled by a gluttonous rage, armed with a fork and a knife. Hole was born out of murder, that warm and fuzzy kind of murder that curses the children. It curses their children. It reads your search history to your grandmother. A domino effect of chaos that lands on those unfortunate souls that benefit from the terror of their ancestors. Magic users don't see humans as anything worth their time other than to experiment on and then throw to the wayside. Humans were damned the moment the invaders entered their domain and corroded their lands and robbed them of any freedom. So why can't humans get even? Why can't the wrath of some blind idiot god turn its attention to the magic users and show them what's what? When Hole arrived, all sorcerers felt dread. His power was there all along. It lied at the source of the depravity of the magic user world, the lake of refuse in the Hole. That ache magic users feel when it rains, well, that's him too. For centuries, Hole gathered his strength, his influence furthered by the gang known as the Cross-Eyes. He took the form of their leader, Kai, and raised the Cross-Eyes to gather sorcerer corpses and amass sorcerer death. And the crosses in their eyes? Well, that's representative of the dumping pond, and the black sludge that runs in it. Under the false cause of taking on the hierarchy of sorcerers, Kai used the cross eyes to fuse sorcerer death with cursed energy and the sheer rage of the humans to give birth to himself. Hole used Kai as Kai. Yeah, it's a web, man. It's a web. Hole, or Holy as Chidaruma calls him, clocks in at 429 centimeters. That's 14 inches tall. Now that's a big boy. Bigger boot! Now, as I've said before, Hole's aura is in the rain, but he can also manifest his own rain that can kill sorcerers in minutes. Lightning and clouds erupt from his sharp horns and unleash dreadful drops of damnation upon sorry sorcerers, even temporarily harming Chidaruma. You wanted this, jackass. Did I mention Hole could fly? He sure can. Do you think you can escape? Well, you sure can't. It's like trying to run from Jason. You'd be better off standing still. Okay, maybe not. I mean, there's gotta be some moment, some time when someone... Never mind. Hole's massive fork and knife are made of solidified sludge, and he uses them to dine in on any sorcerer that stands in his path. But even they aren't powerful enough to take on the store knife. Hole can also summon the ancient dead that spew from his pockets. They're pocket zombies.
Pocket sand.
These pocket zombies can spew sludge that can turn those affected into other zombies. And those zombies form support groups to go help each other kill sorcerers. They are resistant to magic, so it's required that when facing any of these things to have the store knife. And if not, then well... It's actually a nice little system. So beautiful to see nature and karma at work. What allows Hole to spew his dark rain all over the magic user world is his gigantic magic door that connects the lake to the sorcerer realm. Sometimes you gotta use the master's tools. Hole is able to possess his foes and use them to carry out his will. He can also spew out his own sludge, which, if it hits humans, turns them into the ancient dead. So he's not that safe to be around. And don't bother playing hide and seek with this murder deity. Hole has the power of sorcerer tracking to allow him to find you. All of you. Forever. Man screaming. And screaming. Man screaming. Now, if history tells us anything, it's that Chidaruma already knows the evil bits that exist in his world and others. When the rumblings began, Chidaruma sensed the power laid hidden within the Hole. If this new evil were to arise, it would destroy his creations. So he made a bet with the devils he grew to despise. Chidaruma would gather all of the known devils that have appeared over the years and bring them to the Black House. Then he would have them arrive at the central department store that began to merge with Hole, becoming an outer representation of the inner workings of Hole's mind. The decor was immaculate, made of both organic and inorganic material. He told them the story of his past, meeting the humans, the birth of the Hole, and his ultimate realization after centuries of existence. The magic users were his creation, but one day he just realized it was all pointless, and in reality, he was just playing with himself.
That's what she said.
All right.
To Chidaruma, Hole was a true and powerful and pure creation, raw and violent. picture of good health. He would be his champion. The sorcerers would represent the devils, and if Hole won in this proxy war, then the devils would all be turned back into sorcerers, thus ending the charade of equality and Hole murdering them. But if the devil wins, well, Chidaruma becomes human and must remain human for 5,000 years, totally unaware that he was ever the great king of devils. Unfortunately for Chidaruma and Hole, chaos laughs in the face of gods, and Hole was defeated by the soul of the very human he possessed to get to this level of terror. While Hole did fall, a new religion sprang in his place, and Hole became a new wicked brand of terror. This time for the humans. They even got cute Hole plushies. Aren't they adorable? And any sorcerer exposed to the remnants of his murky evil will get extremely sick. Extremely fucking sick. You're lucky that's all that happens. Now that Chidaruma lost, he would have to go through the terms of their agreement. And thus, the devils turned Chidaruma into a baby and threw him out into the world to be human for 5,000 years. They vowed to one day call him by the name they gave him. What could that name possibly be? Who knows? 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 Now, this is where my own interpretation comes into play, since I've reread this whole entire script 15,000 times because I'm a perfectionist, so hopefully this will be the last one. At first, I saw Chidaruma's transformation into a human being as a sign of his regrets. Him agreeing was the ultimate way for him to truly punish himself for invading the human world and causing so much terror. It's why I feel he wanted to befriend Hole at first, only to get constantly rejected. It could also just be his own hubris. My other theory as to why Chidaruma would allow such a thing to happen is that he was a bored god. He created multiple mirrors of himself, found himself finally bored and without equal, and seeing how strong and formidable Hole was, the determination of humanity turned into a god of equal measure and hatred, he saw a way out, and his only way now to prove its strength was to see it battle his strongest sorcerers, and like a god above ants, he could not interfere. And when Hole lost, Chidaruma lost. And, well, you get turned into a baby, and humans get religious. And, well, that's what Dorohedoro is all about. Chaos. Because it's definitely chaos once humans get religious.